New year, new episode, and I'm so happy to announce that this year I am collaborating with another podcaster. Yes, you heard that right. I'm collaborating with Max, who is the host of The Art of Daily Thriving. Yes, she found inspiration when I started VegFit. And now we're going to be talking about thriving in our 30s. Yes. Is 30 still a plague? What do you think? Well, let's find out soon. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, welcome to VegFit, our first collab with.
Max, the Zen art brush narrator of the Art of Daily Thriving.
Wow. And we are here surrounded by nature at Mapawa Nature Park. So guys, what has changed now that you're in your 30s compared to when you are in your 20s and when you were a teenager?
Probably now, more likely, don't care.
Don't care. So that's the only thing that's different. You don't need validation from other people.
Yeah. Have you heard about Mel Robbins? She talked about if people talk about you, just let them. If people backbite you, you just let them. If people hurt you, you just let them.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's one thing I've learned in my 30s because if you think about it, if you put other people first, prioritizing them, your mental health will be deprived, and also, in a way, yourself or your self worth is decreasing.
How about you, Kitty?
Spider.
What has changed in your 30s?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
You still love spiders.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty here with Kitty is that she has retained her child's innocence. Because right now we are here at a nature park and she was still so excited with seeing spiders and jumping off different kind of stones.
Just like you.
Yes, I enjoy that, but I've always been passionate about it, and it's like reliving my childhood.
Well, I think everybody, or I think every one of us has their childlike persona.
Mm.
And it's just that a matter of how do you show it to the world? Or you just put it in the back closet.
Yeah, as for me as well, I do not care much about what other people think. And then I've also learned to have more boundaries to many people, even to my parents. So that's one thing that I can say that is different in my 30s. When it comes to boundaries, do you have it?
Before I don't. You know that.
Yeah, you know so well. I mean,
Of
I
course
don't
you
know how
know
many
that.
boyfriends you've been with.
No, it's not just looking back, but I was thinking of what,
More like a people pleaser.
yeah.
Mm.
Because when I grow up as the eldest, you know that, di ba?
Mm.
If you are the eldest, you should maintain a certain persona. You have to be that responsible kid. You have to be that good kid. So, in short, you are depriving yourself on what should be done and what should you be enjoying.
As for me, I also always put other people first,
Yeah,
even at
possible.
work. So one of the thing that I can remember that is I really made no for is about work because I resigned from my previous work and then they tried to negotiate me to going back to it. But I told them that no because I cannot see the future anymore. Like everything is so blurry. I prioritize other people. Right now, I'm in my 30s. I just want to prioritize myself and my own happiness. Like, do what makes me happy. Yeah, so like in choosing a career, maybe a career that really gives me joy rather than just, always be of service, but you're already like depleting. So it's like you have a lot of love to give and then you just give it to everyone, and then
Nothing's
yeah,
left.
nothing is left for me. That I'm starting to be, negative.
Burnout. That's the
Yes,
word.
burnout.
Burnout.
So yeah, that's the greatest practice of boundary for me. Something that I thought I would never do because I always think about other people first.
Well, I think in our early days, that is one thing we think is right. Because during in our teenage years, we would always like to be in a group. We always like to be connected. So I
Mm.
think that's the reason behind. But as the years go by, as we age, that's the time when we realize that we have also to take care of ourselves.
Yes. Speaking of self care, what are self care practices that you're doing
Now,
to keep your peace, to keep your boundaries?
four, I have already told you about the yoga. Then also meditation. Then we are not perfect. We don't really go on day-to-day basis. But one thing which I am really trying to do is, do you know about, for example, you get mad on something,
Mm.
and then you go deep in yourself, why are you getting mad at that something? What's
Mm.
the reason behind? So that's what I'm doing right now. It's more like of self-discovery, meaning what is the root cause why I am this mad at this person. Probably I am really not mad of that person, but because there is an underlying cause.
So you're like trying to heal the parts of yourself
Yeah, the
that's
inner child. Yeah, the traumas.
yes, because we've been through a lot of traumas and
Yes.
it's undeniable, and if we don't work it out, we'll just keep on projecting that to other people.
You don't know, you're just putting your anger to other people, which is really meant for yourself.
Yeah, and then I thought I've let go most of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just lately there was this incident where some stories of mine were told to another person, so gossips. And then part of me was triggered. Then I started to look at that scenario in a different angle. Like I questioned myself, why was I really angry when in fact I thought I'd move on from that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I started questioning that, oh, maybe some parts of it I was just really trying to
Project
rationalize.
cause.
Yeah, so it's more like I was just rationalizing it. I was just forgiving, but at some parts of it I have not let go.
Yeah.
So I just made peace with it, and I realized that they don't even know the story, and
Mm-hmm.
then they were probably just analyzing the situation based on what they understand, and then it was in the past. So I tried to make peace with that. I'm thankful that it was gone after a day. That was really something. I don't know the climate of dating in 30s. What do you think?
What I think right now, I don't, it is really different from way, way back.
Mm.
You know why? Because a lot of people have a lot of choices. Do you remember a friend of ours that is already in Dubai, and he has a husband who is a pastor?
Oh, I don't know that.
And the pastor said, people are not really committing because people have a lot of choices. People are thinking that, oh, this will not work. I have these other options, another option. So that's why it's different way, way back. Diba? When you have this person, you think of that person only. Because, for example, when you go to war, you just only talk to that person. You just through a letter. Right now, you have social media. You just swipe left, you swipe right.
Yeah.
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 And if I don't like it, oh, X.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I
Kitty is smiling.
yeah. Actually, I tried social dating site,
Mm-hmm.
and then people were like there were many options, right? So they would say I will not date someone from afar.
Yeah.
So, that's like you want this one of a kind love, but either you have to settle with the reality or just wait till eternity. Something like
So
that.
that's the
Yeah.
difference between before and now. Also, I think people are easily triggered or easily, okay, I don't like you, we're done, let's give up. You're
Yeah.
not trying to fix what's fixable.
Yeah. So that's the sad thing. Have you prepared yourself that you might be single forever?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So is that right now that you're just trying to make yourself happy and at peace because there's a part of you that is already preparing yourself that you might not be married?
I think one thing I've learned in mingling with other people is that
Mm.
one person said to me that you should always be prepared of being left alone. For the reason that most of the time, you are always alone. So you should have to make yourself happy even though they're there or even if they're not there.
Mm.
So because yourself is enough already. The problems you are not facing are not theirs but yours alone. Yes, you could confine to them, but then it's only you who could fix it, who could make the decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think even for parents, they thought that they will have children so that someone would take care of them when they're older. But in the reality is, some children don't even care about their parents when they're old.
Well, it depends.
But
That's one thing.
it's a reality.
Yeah,
And
you could just place your parents in a nursing home. Okay, I'll just place you there. See you next
yeah,
week.
I think even if your parents are rich,
Mm-hmm.
you still cannot force them to stay. So that's the reality of it. And some old people are still fixated on the idea that happiness is your children will come to you. That's where their happiness lies. They are not open to possibilities of trying to make themselves happy
I
just with
think
their self.
that seeing your son or your daughter happy, it's one way of bringing joy to yourself because it's an accomplishment on your part, though. It's like seeing yourself, oh, I made this baby into a lady, which is now a president. Oh, are you not happy that your daughter or your son is the president?
Of course.
Oh, see? So I think there's still a part of it, like you're proud.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think some of them are proud, but I think some of them maybe want to be repaid
yeah.
for the love that they have showered.
There's a term for that. I forgot.
It's like your happiness relies on another person. And I think that's the sad part for many elderly, especially during the pandemic where they can't even visit because they are vulnerable. So most of their children don't even visit anymore. So they will have more self pity. I think that's the reason why most of them didn't survive the pandemic as well.
Depression.
Yes.
You know that we are much lucky here in the Philippines. Like the other countries, for example, when you have COVID here, we are grouped into family if they are COVID all. Unlike in the Canada, they are separated.
Oh,
Not they could not see each other for a month, a year, or it depends on until when they are COVID negative. So I guess being part or being connected to other people gives us hope. Do you agree?
yes, I still believe in the connection, but I still believe that you have to be happy on your own as well.
And boundaries.
Yes. So, for those people in their 30s right now, probably still transitioning to in trying to understand themselves and the new challenges, what can you tell
What can
them?
I say?
Mm.
Self-discovery is a lifelong journey. You cannot really say, oh, I'm 30, I already know about myself. No, it's not. It's not really easy. You just told me an example that you thought you already let go, but you didn't. Right? So
Yeah.
I guess self-discovery is something that goes a long way until you die, probably. So I think you should be patient with yourself. You should be more open to the things that you will discover on yourself, the shadows that you may encounter along the way.
I think for me is that you should stop counting the numbers and just start living. Because if you keep counting the numbers, I mean, they're just numbers. But if you work on the life that you want, then at least you made this life worth living instead of just counting the numbers and will have anxiety and depression because you cannot get what you want. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I enjoy this collab. Since we are in the forest, it's really nice. Thank you.
So please listen to my podcast.
Yes.
My podcast is The Art of Daily Thriving. It's more like embracing your shadows and reframing your mindset.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
I hope you learned something valuable today and continue to support VeggieFit. Because here at VeggieFit, we may not still be fit and still far from being spiritual, but we're working on it every day. Thank you for listening and see you again in our next podcast. Bye.